very much, Mark. Tonight, the first evening game under the floodlights with a full house at Goodison Park since February 2020. I arrived here this evening and I said to someone, I said, it feels like we're getting back to normal. And this guy held up the match day program to me and he said, Rafa Benitez is on the front of the Everton program. Football was never normal. You know, you never quite know what to expect, but it is a lovely scene here today. It's been a nice day on Merseyside. There's been a few spits of rain through the afternoon, but it never really caught hold. They've been flooding the pitch with the sprinklers ahead of kick-off. Burnley are here and ready to go, looking for their first win in the Premier League this season. And Everton, under Rafa Benitez, all the talk this summer, his long association across Stanley Park at Anfield, but he's at a very good start. And if Everton win tonight, the 3 points would bring them level with Manchester United, with Chelsea and with Liverpool, the teams who currently top the formative Premier League table. Alan Hutton, before Scotland International, is alongside me. Goodison is bopping. I mean, the home form was terrible last season. Can this crowd make this Everton team better here this year?
You'd like to think so. It's absolutely rocking tonight. What an incredible atmosphere. So if you're a player, this will lift you. So you'll be looking for a good performance.
No Dominic Calvert-Lewin for Everton. He missed out on England duty with a thigh injury. He's now broken his toe as well, so it's another 2-3 weeks before we'll see him back in action again. Everton have brought 2 defenders into their team today as the players take a knee ahead of kick-off, and it is a gesture that is warmly applauded across the stadium. Yerry Mina and Ben Godfrey come into the team. Holgate and Calvert-Lewin, the two who are out. That's from the away win at Brighton last time out as we get underway. Everton in their blue shirts, white shorts, white socks, will play from right to left, defending the Park end. Allen stabs the ball forward, stretching out as Matthew Lowton, and then a swing by Josh Brownhill to send it up over the top. Long ball towards the edge of the Everton penalty area. Chris Wood uses his body well to shield the ball. Gudmundsson is able to collect it on the right hand side for Burnley, and he's done well the second time there to keep it in play. He lashes in across with his left foot. Keane is well located, but Burnley are trying to lay down an early marker here at Goodison. It is 0-0 on 5 Live. We'll give you a rundown of the teams in just a moment, but Everton certainly have started with a 3-man central defence. Godfrey, Mina and Keane. Bit of head tennis on the edge of the Everton penalty area. Then Brownhill manages to get the ball down on the deck. Sloppy pass though is cut out by Richarlison, and Brownhill bites back and he takes the legs out of the Brazilian on the halfway line, and it's the first free kick of the game. Brownhill's foul on Richarlison. Alan Hutton.
Yeah, it's been a good start. I think it's going to be a big test this evening for that back three of Everton, obviously up against Barnes and Wood. They're going to put themselves about, so we'll wait and see how that affects and goes forward, but I'm really looking forward to this game.
So Richarlison is down, may need some treatment in these early stages. Scored against Burnley 3 seasons ago, a game that Everton won by 5 goals to 1 at Turf Moor. So we've got this break in play. Good time to give you the team news. Jordan Pickford, the goalkeeper. Godfrey, Mina and Keane, the back 3 for Everton. Seamus Coleman, who did hurt his hamstring on international duty and missed the Republic of Ireland's final game against Serbia last week, but that hamstring problem proved to be minor, so he's back in the team, back as Everton captain this evening. Luca Digne, the left wing back. In the middle, it's Allen alongside Doucouré, with then 2 wingers, Andros Townsend and Damari Gray, either side of Richarlison. All the hullabaloo about South American players and whether they'd be able to play in the Premier League this weekend. Richarlison's hoping that he'll be able to continue, having been hurt in the very first collision he was involved in the game.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of tackles obviously at the weekend there from behind and what happened, so that was not a naughty one. He's obviously went to win the ball, but he's caught Richarlison a little bit and he seems to be suffering.
Burnley unchanged. You remember last month they had that thing where they started the game with the numbers 1 to 11 in the team. There's one guy, Ashley Westwood, is ruining it. If it was Jack Cork, it would be 1 to 11 for Burnley. He's number 18, but otherwise it's the other numbers in sequence. Nick Pope, the goalkeeper. Lowton, Tarkovsky, me and Taylor, the back 4. Gudmundsson, Westwood, Brownhill and McNeil in midfield. And Wood and Barnes up front. Good interception by Damari Gray for Everton, and now Allan with an acceleration gets away from McNeil. Nice slide by Ashley Westwood to win the ball back for Burnley. Burnley have begun this game up on their toes. They don't look like a team that are still waiting for their first win in the league this season. Ball forward for Wood to chase after, and Pickford comes out with a real swaz, clears the ball. This low kick out towards Seamus Coleman on the right hand side. There was a bit of flair about that from Pickford. That was sort of, you're on the edge of the green, you take the flat edge of the 8 iron and you just swizz it onto the putting surface. That was really good from Pickford.
I was watching him actually in the warm-up, and he was doing it the full warm-up, so he's had plenty of practice, and that was a beauty of a kick.
Well executed. You do something like that, it has to work. You look ridiculous. This is Damari Gray on the left wing for Everton, who've yet to get in around the Burnley penalty area so far tonight. Gray, the new signing from Leicester, right foot across, never got underneath it, cleared away by the head of Gudmundsson. Allan, the Brazilian, will collect for Everton. And Burnley sitting deep. Once they lose the ball, they retreat and they try to reinforce and not let Everton through. Yerry Mina, who didn't go away on international duty over the past fortnight. Decore rolls it in front of Antos Townsend. He's asked too much of him, surely. Charlie Taylor shepherds it out, and it will be a goal kick to Burnley. Everton 0, Burnley 0. 5 live for the BBC and BBC Sounds tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be up to Everton to try and break down that low block. Obviously, when Burnley just drop back into their 2 banks of 4, it can be difficult to break it down, but they've got enough flair in wide areas with obviously Townsend and Gray and obviously with Charlton up front to cause them problems.
If you stretch back to last season, Burnley haven't won any of their last 6 Premier League games. And if you go back as far as April, Burnley have lost 9 of their last 12 in the league, and yet Sean Dyche has enjoyed playing against Everton in recent seasons. Burnley 7 years in the top flight. They haven't beaten any other opponent as much as they've beaten Everton. And sometimes those things just linger in the brain, and that can inspire a side as Yerry Mina makes a good interception on Dwight McNeil on the far side. Everton clear it away into the crowd, throw into Burnley, who will remain inside their opponent's territory. 5 minutes played, 0-0.
It's a crazy stat that, but just listening to you there when you talk about how they haven't won a lot, but they're such a difficult team to play against sometimes. They set out so well, Dyche has them always up for it, and they just don't seem to get the ball in the back of the net.
They did have a slow start this time last season. You might remember Ben Mee was injured. I think he missed the first 7 or 8 games, and they didn't win any of those games without Ben Mee. And that had them firmly rooted in the relegation zone in the opening months, and in the end they did pull away from that trouble, as they so often tend to do under Sean Dyche. And every few seasons people say, will this be the year Burnley struggle, and they inevitably find a way of digging their way out. No great recruitment this summer again. He's got the tried and trusted to Sean Dyche, but he does this evening have Maxwell Cornet, £15 million for Lyon. Burnley don't spend much very often. You would imagine they'll have scouted him very closely. They will not just spend 15 million without knowing what they're getting. Here's a good ball in from McNeil. Oh, he was somewhat slapped at by Pickford. Chris Wood was the target. Wood couldn't get a touch. Pickford couldn't really commit himself because he was worried the big Kiwi Wood prodded past him, and in the end Everton relieved it, goes out for a goal kick. But that was the most dangerous attack of the game so far.
I'll tell you one thing, there wasn't much communication there between Pickford and Keane there. They're having a little argument between themselves, but it's a fantastic ball in from wide, and Wood, as we know, he's going to try and get on that. I think Keane just does enough just to put him off at the back post, but really unlucky.
Chris Wood has scored against Everton last season. He's got 3 goals against Everton in his career. That was a chance, he just couldn't get his head onto it, but any touch at all, Pickford was in no man's land. Yerry Mina's closed down again by Dwight McNeil, who's making his 100th Premier League appearance, the youngest player to ever do that for Burnley. And he's closed down Yerry Mina. Now the referee says that Coleman isn't taking the throw in from the correct place. This is all directly in front of the Burnley fans, far side of the pitch from us. That low down position that visiting supporters get at Goodison, and they're giving Coleman a bit of stick as he takes his time over the throw. It's eventually flicked on by Richarlison, who does look to have recovered from that early knock, but Everton give it away again on the halfway line. In slides Tarkowski, doesn't get a clean connection on the ball. Townsend tries to get it under his control for Everton. This is on the halfway line, Everton playing right to left. Allan stabs it forward, controlled though confidently on the chest by Charlie Taylor, who turns 28 this week. He's not been able to fully clear it away though. Down goes Richarlison again. No free kick this time, and Burnley should be able to counter-attack. This is Matthew Lowton up to the halfway line on the right hand side. 0-0 at Goodison Park tonight in the Premier League. Westwood rolls it back again to Tarkowski, and Burnley look a bit more comfortable now. Alan Hutton.
Yeah, I think the game's still just to settle down a little bit. Both teams giving up in possession very easily, just trying to settle into the game. But McNeil on that left hand side, some of his crossing has been superb.
Keane with an interception for Everton. Doucouré, who missed much of the second half of last season through injury. He's a calming presence there. They work it back to Pickford. And now Yerry Mina, who's twice given the ball away trying to come out of defence, and this time he plays a very safe pass to Ben Godfrey. Godfrey, who's making his first appearance of the season. He's been in COVID isolation the early weeks of the campaign. Michael Keane looking up for options, finding an accurate ball actually to Luca Digne on the left hand side, but Munson tries to close him down. Digne into Damari Gray, who bounces away from Westwood and tries a shot. He's miles out, 15 yards outside the penalty area. There is warm applause from the Everton fans, but it would have needed to be an absolute stunner to trouble Nick Pope from there.
Yeah, he's really dragged that wide. Didn't really think he should have went for goal. I think there was an option far on the right. Coleman made a really intelligent run to the back post. That was probably his better option, but fair play, he's cut inside and he's had a pop at goal.
Yeah, 2 goals in his first 3 Premier League appearances for Everton. He'll say why not. That's good business, that. In this day and age of ridiculous transfer fees, Damari Gray, 1.7 million from Leicester. That could be bargain of the season.
Oh, it's definitely bargain of the season, especially see when he comes in and he hits the ground running and he puts in good performances. There's probably a couple of eyebrows being raised when he was coming into the club, but he's shown everybody what he's capable of.
Yeah, looks fit as well, looks up for it. And his new blue Everton shirt, of course, so similar in shade to what he would have worn at Leicester in the past. Throw into Everton, which is taken by Coleman to Doucouré. Ashley Barnes comes in and Doucouré wasn't ready for that, and Barnes has caught him unaware, and Burnley steal possession back again. They're so good at doing that. The press and the pressure, the work that Burnley do out of possession makes it so difficult for their opponents. Lowton swings one down towards the corner flag. Keane, aware that Chris Wood was behind him, nothing fancy, heads it out for a throw. Burnley remain on the attack down the right hand side, 0-0.
Burnley are very good at that. It's not just a thumped upfield ball, it's into an area for the striker to go and chase down, make something happen. You watch Ashley Westwood and obviously Matty Lowton, they'll do that a lot tonight. Key passes for them.
That's the voice of Alan Hutton watching this game with us tonight on 5 Live. Matthew Lowton, former teammate of Alan's at Aston Villa, takes the throw in, but it's one back for Everton by Luca Digne, and now Damari Gray will drift his way out of defence and roll it in front of Mina. Warm applause from the Goodison crowd. Everton 0, Burnley 0, 10 minutes played. Burnley have had one dangerous cross from the left hand side which caused problems for Pickford, and down the other end Nick Pope has yet had a save to make. Pickford balloons it high up into the air, up over the halfway line. Ben Mee jumps, cleanly beats Richarlison in the air, but it's picked up by Damari Gray, and he's unlucky there. He tried to thread it through for Richarlison. Flag was raised anyway. Richarlison was offside. Clever thinking though, but Burnley survived.
Yeah, it was a good move. Damari Gray and Andros Townsend are picking up really clever bits of space. They're just coming off the back 4, picking up the ball and running at the defence.
Speaking of running at the defence, Charlie Taylor's on the charge here. He made up 60, 70 yards there, and he got within 10 yards of the byline of the Everton end, and he wins a corner. And that was all about endurance as he ploughed his way down the left wing. So Everton pull everyone back into defence for this Burnley corner, which Westwood, another of your old teammates, Alan, goes across to take.
Yeah, sure is. He's great delivery from set pieces. So he'll be looking to swing this right in underneath Pickford's crossbar into a dangerous area for the likes of Woods to go and attack.
So Westwood places the ball carefully. All 11 Everton players are back inside their penalty area. It comes in low towards the front post. Brownhill tries to flick it on, and the last touch came off Alan, and that will be corner number 2 in quick succession for Burnley.
I think that was commentator's curse there.
Yes, absolutely.
After he talking him up,
you give him the build
couldn't
up.
be the first man.
Yes. Let's see, bet you this will be better. Here we go. Westwood swings it in deeper. Tarkowski beaten in the air though by Ben Godfrey, and then Doucouré mops it up. And Everton won't be able to get very far out because Munson puts it out for a throw-in. The quality of taking corner kicks seems to be one of the more difficult things in football. I guess it's the tiny margins between a perfect corner and one that's a little bit too low.
Yeah, exactly. I was never a a free kick or a corner taker myself, so I know how difficult it can be. It's definitely a specialist thing. So yeah, Westwood's obviously got that unlock. He's very good at it.
I made this point several times today. Maybe 5 Live listeners might have heard me say it before, but I always think the best set piece takers in football are goalkeeping coaches. If you watch in the warm-up, they will send in 100 perfect crosses. They never fluff any of them. That's what they do.
The problem is when the pressure's on and you have to do it in front of the supporters.
That is the problem. Loughton gives it back to Tarkowski. No real press from Everton. I'm interested in your views on the Everton formation, Alan, because they've got the 3 centre-backs, which means 2 wing-backs, but they've also got 2 out-and-out wingers. You know, usually if you've got wing-backs, they kind of become the wingers and you play more central, but Townsend and Gray very wide, and so too Coleman and Digne.
Yeah. Look, it's going to be interesting to see how it works out, but I think if you look at where Townsend and Gray are trying to play, they're trying to pick up areas inside the pitch as well, making it difficult for the Burnley back 4, so they can pick up the ball in that kind of number 10 kind of area of the pitch if you want, and then drive and make things happen. That's what they'll be looking with the width coming from obviously the wing backs.
Remember, a win for Everton tonight would move them level with Manchester United, Chelsea and Liverpool. They'd all be up to 10 points by this evening with 4 games played. Burnley, who've only got 1 point to show for their efforts so far, but obviously if they can pick up a victory tonight, it would move them out of the... I know it's too early to be looking at the table, but what is the formative relegation zone at the moment? They are third bottom, just Newcastle and Norwich below them. Burnley on the attack. Loughton in front of Gudmundsson, down with a corner flag away to the right-hand side. He's done well to turn and swing in across, which was destined for Chris Wood, but Godfrey got his head to it. And then Taylor, who tried to keep the chance alive, can only head it out for a goal kick, but quality from Gudmundsson there. Didn't seem much on, and he managed to resurrect a very impressive cross.
Yeah, it was a quality cross into a dangerous area, right on the 6-yard box. Godfrey is the middle centre half, and he rose really well to defend that. So I think Everton at the moment are better with him in that central space, because he can win his headers, he can clear the ball, and he's got that pace to get out of tricky situations.
Everton without Dominic Calvert-Lewin this evening. If you missed the news earlier on, he's now got a broken toe to add to the thigh injury he was recovering from, so it'll be a few weeks till we see him back in action. And quite a lengthy list of absentees at the moment, with Jean-Philippe Gbamin, Fabian Delph, James Rodriguez still isolating. Chintosa's got a knee injury. Was that a shot, by the way? I was looking down at my notes of the injured players. I just saw them all looping towards the goal. I was like, whoa, what's happening here? But yeah, quite a few missing for Everton at the moment as Alan tries to play it forward and headed away by the firm forward of Tarkowski, out for an Everton throw.
I think that's the one thing about Everton this year. I think they've got a better strength and depth within the squad, as you rightly mentioned. They're missing a few key players, but the ones that are coming in are all international players as well.
The one that's going to make about Calvert-Lewin is, as well as the goals, he's very good early in defence. Things like defending corners and free kicks, he plays a very important part for the team. Right, foul by Chris Wood, but he is the player hurt, and he's down holding his head. And the Burnley physios are waiting for permission to come on and just make sure he's okay. There was a trailing hand from Michael Keane which may have brushed along his face. I mean, at worst it's a little slap on the cheek. I mean, he's a big burly Kiwi, Chris Wood. I'm not having him going down. I mean, finger in the eye or something, okay, that can hurt, but that was just a little slap on the cheek. Come on.
It was just a slight tap to the cheek, should we say. I'm pretty sure it takes a lot more than that for him to go down.
This is the man who comes from the country of the All Blacks. Come on, you're not going down with a slap in the cheek. Come on. Everton play it long. Richarlison can't hold it up. Big responsibility for Richarlison in the absence of Calvert-Lewin, and he's not been able to hold much up so far, but of course we know what a good player he can be. Has already scored this season in the Premier League, got one against Southampton on the opening day. Burnley in possession, 0-0 on 5 Live, 17 minutes on the big stadium clock. Charlie Taylor with a mistake, gives it away to Doucouré. Doucouré in turn though with a poor pass, and you can hear the groans in the background from the Everton fans who thought that was going to be an opportunity, but it's an opportunity blown. Barnes holds it up on the halfway line. Not a great pass to Taylor, who in turn does give it away. Good pressure from Everton, forcing some Burnley mistakes there. Luca Digne gives it infield to Alan, and then he'll send it up to the feet of Damari Gray. Back into Alan. That is neat and tidy from Everton, but a good challenge by Gudmundsson, and Burnley get it back again. Gudmundsson on the halfway line. Right wing for the visitors. Back to Loughton. Tries to play it forward. Digne's well positioned. Jumps twice. Wins the header but gives it straight to McNeil. Coleman tries to lunge it now. He's out of position as Taylor comes down the left wing for Burnley. He's got 3 to aim through the middle here. He's got Barnes and Wood, and McNeil has come a bit closer. Taylor goes to the byline. Here comes the cross. Up is Chris Wood, but his header is also up. It's vertical. It's not threatening the goal, and it's easily claimed by Jordan Pickford. 0-0.
Taylor's done really well there, hasn't he? It's a great burst and run. He gets by Townsend as if he's not there. Dinks out an incredible ball to the back post, and there's Wood. You know he's going to go up for it, and he's probably going to win it. He couldn't get enough on it, but a really good effort.
Yeah, I think he's a very underrated player, Charlie Taylor. Gives 110% all the time. Very important part of what Burnley do in defence and indeed attack. As Westwood here rolls the ball back to Nick Pope, and now Ben Mee to the aforementioned Charlie Taylor on the far side. Still midway inside Burnley territory. Everton again dropping deep. No real high press from Rafa Benitez's team. Loughton will come forward on the right wing for Burnley. Right foot across, comes in low, dummied by Barnes. Wood gets a shot, but it's up and over the crossbar, and Burnley are on top of the moment at Goodison Park. 0-0.
That's where Damari Gray has to get out to Loughton and close him down. He can't allow him to put that ball in there. There's no pressure on him whatsoever. Gives him the time to swing on a ball, and you know that's what Burnley are trying to do. They're trying to get into an area for Wood and Barnes to go and attack. You must close the crosser down.
That shot from Wood deflected off Yerry Mina, so it will be a Burnley corner. The two managers are down there. Obviously these days some coaches like to wear tracksuits. You never see Sean Dyche or Rafa Benitez in tracksuits. They're always suit men. Benitez often with the waistcoat, of course. Here comes the Westwood delivery. In swinging. Pickford's under pressure. Header just wide. Big chance. Ben Mee, who loves to score headers from set pieces, and he managed to beat Pickford in the air, but it's gone out for a goal kick.
Set pieces will play a big part, I think, in this game, especially for Burnley. We spoke about it earlier, Ashley Westwood and his delivery into the box. That time it's a great in-swinger to the far post. Mee's up there, he gets connection on it, but I think the Everton defender just does enough just to put him off. It's really unlucky, very unlucky. He could have went 1-0 up there.
Ben Mee, who has scored 6 goals in the Premier League in his career, 5 of them have been headers. That was a very trademark Ben Mee chance, and it very nearly worked. And the chances are all happening away to our right hand side, the park end of Goodison Park, and that means the chances are coming for Burnley. Everton need to get their act together a bit here. Doucouré does well, strong in a challenge, plays it to Digne on the left wing. That was the bite that Everton fans have been looking for there from Doucouré. But there's no rapid counter-attack. Everton back around the edge of their own penalty area again. Burnley are very organised. Godfrey out to Mina, no time. Immediately on to Coleman. Trapped up against the touchline. Infield to Doucouré. Back again to Yerry Mina. Everton finding it hard to get out.
I think it's quite slow, isn't it? It's very side to side. I think if you give Burnley time, they're going to get back into their defensive shape. You need to move the ball quickly, get it forward, get it into Richarlison, Gray, to then drive at the back four. If you take your time, it allows Burnley just to set up, and it makes it very difficult to break them down.
20 minutes played at Goodison, 0-0. Tomorrow we've got an early start with 5 Live Sport. Kelly Cates will be on air from 5:30. It's Young Boys against Manchester United. Will be live from Switzerland. 5:45pm kickoff. The opening night of the Champions League group stage for this season. Then immediately after that, 8 o'clock start, Chelsea against Zenit St. Petersburg. Again, commentary live here on 5 Live. And it continues on Wednesday. Liverpool against AC Milan is our pick of the 8 o'clock games. We'll also keep you in touch with how Manchester City fare at home against Bruges. But the return of the Champions League this week, and you can keep across it all here on 5 Live. Midway through the first half at Goodison. This is the Premier League on a Monday night. Ink black skies overhead, floodlights pumped up to their maximum wattage. Good atmosphere at Goodison Park, but Everton not the team on top. Burnley have been playing well and have created the most dangerous chances so far. Loughton rolls it back to Tarkowski, who started all of Burnley's Premier League games so far this season. Taylor's got to really stretch to keep it and play on the far side. He showed too much of it to Coleman. Coleman slightly miscues and puts it out for a Burnley throw.
See, this is a difference. It's good play from Burnley. They're actually moving the ball really quickly from side to side. It was a switcher play from Westwood out wide to the left hand side, which gives them that opportunity to try and get the ball into the box.
So Burnley's throw taken short to Ashley Westwood, and then Dwight McNeil. He scored against Everton last season. One of 2 goals he got during the campaign. The other was against Aston Villa. Burnley, who did win 2-1 here at Goodison Park in March. Lowton tries to play a ball in front of Gudmundsson, but it's well cut out by Luca Digne. It'll be a throw into Burnley on the right hand side. Burnley in their claret shirts with the blue sleeves, blue shorts, blue socks. Westwood always looking for possession, rolls it back to Ben Mee with the red boots. He goes short to Taylor, also on the halfway line, forced really through a lack of other options to send it high down that line. Godfrey comes across and nothing fancy, heads it into the Burnley fans, throw into the visitors.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite simple football, isn't it? It's a ball, it's a channel ball, and go and try and win your battle, but it's working for them. I mean, they've got Everton pinned back into their own half.
A few groans again from Everton fans as possession is given away. Brownhill has it back inside the centre circle for Burnley. Late challenge by Doucouré on Westwood, and it's going to be a free kick to Burnley. And Doucouré's been forceful with a few challenges now. Still no speaking to for the referee. Westwood's down. Burnley have the free kick.
Yeah, Burnley are in 23 and a half minutes are the better team so far. They're getting the ball forward quickly, but with quality and making things happen. You'd actually think that Everton are the away side here. The way they're playing, they're kind of sitting back deep, looking to just hit the counter. You'd probably expect more from them.
Yeah. I think they certainly are missing Calvert-Lewin as the target man, and maybe because Richarlison's playing that role, they're missing Richarlison where he would normally be. Free kick is taken by Westwood into the Everton penalty area. Yerry Mina jumps, and there was a handball there, but it was off one of the attackers. Tarkovsky handled the ball, spotted by the officials, and that's going to be a free kick to Everton.
I think you're spot on there when you talk about Calvert-Lewin. I think when he is playing, you can go quickly up to him, you can hold the ball up, you can get it out wide and get crosses into the box. With Richarlison, he's a totally different player. You can't play that way with him in the team. You have to move the ball quick through the lines, and Everton just haven't been able to do it at the moment.
So it's going to be a free kick inside the Everton penalty area. Jordan Pickford prepares to take it. 8 clean sheets in his last 11 caps for England. He's really grown into that. I mean, you think back this time last season, even well into the season, there was a debate. Who's England's best goalkeeper? The keeper down the other end tonight was being mentioned, of course, Nick Pope. But Pickford's performances in the summer, he has secured that position for himself for now. Tamari Gray's done well here, out to Luca Digne, challenged by Gudmundsson. Ball goes out for a Burnley throw. Sean Dyche applauds down there. He's enjoying what he's seeing.
Yeah, he'll be the happier of the two managers at the moment. His side is keeping the ball better, he's making things happen, so yeah, he'll be delighted.
Everton 0, Burnley 0. We'll be talking golf on 5 Live after 10 o'clock. Padraig Harrington has made his picks. His team is ready to go to represent Europe against the USA. You can keep across all the Ryder Cup, of course, on 5 Live later on this month as Gudmundsson tries to head the ball on, and now it's been picked up by Damari Gray on the left hand side. He cuts in, corner angle, the penalty area. Alan, you could see what he was trying to do, very Brazilian there. He spooned the ball, scooped it up in the air. However, Richarlison hadn't anticipated it, and it was probably slightly overstruck anyway. It ran through to Nick Pope, whose good distribution brings Taylor into the Everton half. The ball in field to Dwight McNeil, shrugs off Allen, good turn by McNeil, shoots from the edge of the penalty area. Defender took the sting out of it, and it sailed comfortably into the arms of Jordan Pickford. 0-0.
Yeah, it was good play, good quick counter-attack, getting the ball up the pitch very fast. McNeil doing what he does best, cutting in, having strikes on goal, so yeah, looking dangerous.
I would imagine you're a big golf fan, Alan. I don't know why I think that, but yes,
yeah,
I couldn't have been wrong on that. I promised that was going to be.
Grew up in Troon.
You'll be all over the Ryder Cup, I would imagine.
Yeah, sure will be.
Americans have got a lot of good individuals, but when they play as a team, it doesn't come very naturally to them. It's always very good fun to keep across. Westwood here is looped it high up into the penalty. What a first touch by Chris Wood. He's played it across the penalty area for Barnes and down for Brownhill, and it's saved by Pickford. There was a touch there from Chris Wood. I mean, to describe it sort of Zlatan-esque. He stretched out the leg. He completely killed the pace of what was a long ball towards him. That was a world-class touch, but not a world-class shot in the end from Brownhill, and the shot was comfortably saved by Pickford in the end.
I tell you what a fantastic touch. It's right on the line as well. No room for error whatsoever. He's brought it down fantastically well. Good cutback as well. Unfortunately, Brownhill just couldn't get the right connection, just into the keeper's arms.
These are all warning signs for Everton. They've got away with it so far, 0-0, but Burnley have by far the best chances of the game. Taylor from left fullback clears away. Tamari Gray did well to charge down that attempted clearance, and Coleman has picked up the loose ball. He feeds Andros Townsend. Everton hoping to break into life. Townsend into the pillar. Doucouré shot on target, saved by Pope. Good reaction save. Shot was only about 8 yards out. Everton trying to keep this chance alive. Tarkovsky heads it out of the penalty area. The Everton fans have something to cheer now. That's been the best chance that their team has mustered so far. Now can Rafa Benitez's team build on this?
That's much better. Listen to that crowd. Actually, Burnley had silenced the crowd, but they've just come alive there. Andros Townsend with a drive and run inside, plays the ball into Doucouré, and he's really unlucky. He strikes the ball well. Really great save by Pope.
Doucouré, who's already scored this season, he got one against Southampton on the opening day. They've been awoken from their slumber, Everton. And there's several quality moments in that build-up. And Doucouré's shot wasn't bad at all. Good save by Nick Pope to keep this game at 0-0.
I think that's what the fans have been waiting for, isn't it? A little just a bit of injection of pace, something to happen to really lift them, because they've been kept quiet so far.
Throw in to Bernley on the far side, but somebody has found the volume switch at Goodison Park, and it's just been turned up.
This is what it's all about, isn't it, with the fans back. Brilliant, great atmosphere. Used to always love coming here to play, but the fans always got behind the team. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's a great stadium. It's got, it's old-fashioned things. There's pillars that get in the way, and concourses are tight, queues for the toilets are a nightmare, all that kind of stuff. But when they do move to that new stadium that they're building on the Docklands, latest I heard 2024 they could be ready to move in there. I think football in general are going to miss Goodison Park.
Yeah, of course. One of the iconic stadiums for me anyway.
Absolutely. So throw in this time for Everton on the far side after a little bit of head tennis over the halfway line. Coleman to take it. Seamus Coleman, who today overtakes David Unsworth. He's now Everton's 5th highest appearance maker in the Premier League. 303 games he's played in this format of the competition. I always remember the quote last season from Carlo Ancelotti. He said Seamus Coleman's contract with Everton is forever. He's built into the DNA of the club at this time. Burnley fans are up in arms on the far side. Chris Wood got in a tussle with Alan and Yerry Mina down by the corner flag. Referee, I think in the end, has given a free kick to Everton, and that's what the Burnley fans weren't very happy about. Tonight's referee, by the way, Andre Mariner, who is yet to show a red card or indeed award a penalty in the Premier League yet this season. He doesn't show any reds actually at all, does Andre Mariner. Anyway, free kick to Everton. Pickford just outside his penalty area, right full-back position. Will be the man to take. Half an hour has been reached. Still no goals. If Everton were to get 1 point, they would move level with West Ham, who are just above them in the Premier League table with 8 points after the 4 games they've played so far. But Everton hoping this could be a home win tonight, and 3 points would propel them joint top. Coleman takes the throw-in, short to Doucouré. Well charged down by McNeil, though, to win it back for Burnley, and then he hurdles over the challenge of Yerry Mina. Excellent from Dwight McNeil. Barnes across the centre circle for Lowton. And then his ball up towards Chris Wood was very well anticipated by Michael Keane. It had just come short of Wood. Keane had anticipated that. He was moving towards it ahead of the New Zealand striker. Here come Everton down the left-hand side. Tamari Gray gets to the edge of the penalty area, pulls it back for Doucouré. Now he's got a wall of defenders in front of him. Gives it to the left wing again. Digne's cross headed away by Goodmunson, and Everton have got a corner.
That's good play from them. Getting the ball out wide. Digne, you know how good he is crossing the ball. It's really unlucky. It's cut out. They're just at the near post for a corner. He's really lifting this crowd.
So the corner will be taken left-hand side by Luca Digne. Everton have sent pretty much everyone up. Coleman is the deepest lying defender, and he's midway inside the Burnley half. Digne rolls it short to Tamari Gray, just outside the penalty area. Tamari Gray onto his right boot. 3 defenders standing in front of him. Gives it back to Alan. Crossfield ball. It's not great from Alan. Godfrey's going to try and keep it alive here. Picks out Michael Keane. Now he lops it in. This is dangerous. Yerry Mina jumps, but he can't propel it downwards. And it's an easy save for Nick Pope. But at least Everton are making chances now. 0-0.
One thing that always baffles me, that I mean, you send your back 3 up. You've got some tall players in the team. Put the ball in the box. Digne's got an unbelievable cross. Make something happen that way. They go short, and then it takes about 3 or 4 passes to then get it in the box.
Clearance by Pope. towards Ashley Barnes. He wins the header, but all he can do is put it straight out for a throw-in. It's become a little bit more cagey now. The opening stages of the game, Burnley were creating chances. Everton have come back into it a little bit more now. Rafa Benitez is waving arms and gesticulating down there and trying to get his methods across to the players. Everton have only earned 22 points at home last season. That was a new club record, fewest home points ever in a campaign, and that's not just Premier League era thing, that's of all time. They had never won that few points in an entire season here. They really missed the fans. Pope clears away, right-footed. There's a Burnley player down. It's Bernley. Play continuing for the moment. And he's got his hand in his head, so the referee has to blow the whistle and allow the treatment to come on for him. And just making sure he's okay. He's lying flat on his back, Bernley, and he is talking to the physios. There's a spat breaking out here between Richarlison and Westwood, and a few others have come milling in as well.
I'd like to see that challenge again, because Richarlison's really ran through him there, right, and he's used his shoulder. Look, we're just waiting to try and see a replay, but it did look a little bit naughty. I can see why some of the Burnley players are not happy with it.
Bernley has made it very tough stuff. He doesn't go down.
Yeah, that's true.
The VAR is looking, possible red card for violent conduct. Richarlison could be in trouble here. We haven't got the replay of it yet. The video assistant referee will be looking at it, I'm sure. Richarlison has been called over. And we've got 10 minutes to go to half-time. This could be a significant development in the game. We still haven't seen a replay of it. But Richarlison is hoping that this isn't going to be a red card.
My first thought was it was a little bit naughty. There was no really any need to go in for a challenge like that. He's used his shoulder and really he has caught him. It was late. Looks like he's going to get away with it, but he needs to be careful.
So video assistant referee has looked at it, happy, no further action is needed. Everton 0, Burnley 0. By the way, 5 Live Breakfast tomorrow. We'll be talking to parents about the news that young teenagers are to be offered the COVID jab. They'll also be talking to Judy Murray, discussing the tennis and inspiring young girls to take up the game. That's tomorrow morning, 5 Live Breakfast here on this network. News as play gets back underway. Nick Pope, well outside his penalty area, wearing all green, sends it forward with plenty of backspin towards the edge of the Everton penalty area. Yerry Mina holds up the ball. He's got Chris Wood climbing all over him, and he clears it away as far as Andros Townsend. Townsend back to Coleman. Coleman skews it, slices it, puts it into the crowd. Everton remain pinned in for now.
Burnley doing well, keeping the pressure up. So they're moving the ball quickly from side to side, and it's affecting Everton. They're kind of slow to get out and put pressure on the wide man, and it's allowing them to put the ball in the box and create opportunities.
Burnley take the throw. Westwood, midway inside the Everton half. Back now to the halfway line. Bernley has recovered from that knock, but an uncertain touch, and now he's surely fouled Richarlison there. Referee waves play on. Everton hoping they have an advantage. Andros Townsend down the right hand side, sends in a cross which Tarkowski's able to clear away. Everton still on the attack as Coleman sends in the cross. Loughton wins the header. Luca Digne's an awful long way out. He tries to head it from the edge of the penalty area, and it had completely run out of steam by the time it reached Nick Pope, and a comfortable save for him in the end.
It's getting a little bit heated, isn't it? Few challenges, but it's adding to the excitement, and the crowd's really getting a lift from it.
I think Everton have been frustrated. They know they're not playing as well as they can do. Credit to Burnley for not allowing that to happen, of course. Tarkowski, right-footed ball forward towards the edge of the Everton penalty area. Wood jumps in the air, and he's got the better of Keane here, just outside the box on the right-hand side. Left-footed cross is too high for McNeil. He'll turn and sprint out towards the touchline on the far side to keep the ball in play. Coleman leaning into it, trying to put McNeil off. Support behind from Westwood. Now out to Taylor on the left-hand side. Burnley is zipping the passes around here. They work it back to the halfway line at Ben Mee, and he's got Tarkowski in space on the right-hand side. Richarlison sprints to try and... Oh, well done, Richarlison. Blocks the ball away from Tucker. That looked a lost cause, but he didn't give up. He's pumped up now because he's been accused of the bad foul, because he was then probably fouled in the aftermath, but the referee wave play on, and he's got his feathers up, does Richarlison, as the ball goes out for a throw into Burnley.
Yeah, he's definitely charging around now, isn't he? I don't think he was happy about the last tackle on him, so he's been charging around like a bull, but it's working.
Yeah, it's exactly it, charging like a bull. Westwood gives it back to Tarkowski. Burnley are doing okay here. They've had some good chances. Sean Dyche will actually be disappointed his team haven't taken the lead. Brownhill arguably with the best of them, but he blazed it. Well, he didn't blaze it. That was the trouble. It was a weak tame shot and easily saved by Pickford. Flag raised. Burnley are offside. Free kick to Everton.
I think Sean Dyche will be really happy. Obviously just about going to half time. His team's playing really well, creating opportunities, and Everton are really like they're stuck a lot of the time in their own half, so you need to come out and do better.
Plenty of experience in this Burnley team. They have the oldest average age starting 11s in the Premier League this season. Half-time fast approaching now at Goodison. Seamus Coleman in possession, far side of the pitch from us. Everton playing right to left as we look down. He tries to pick out Doucouré. Bernley sweeps across, and that goes out for an Everton throw. Townsend to take.
The one thing with Burnley is every man knows their job. They know exactly what they're doing, when to press and when not, and you can see that.
Yeah, there's no tinkering. Great ball. Richarlison, Coleman, and Gray. How did he not score? Flag was raised anyway. It wouldn't have counted, but Everton have pulled off the slickest move of the game so far. Demarai Gray, who's been in the goal since he's joined Everton, just puts it wide of the post. Coleman was offside in the build-up.
I'll tell you one thing, you'll be very happy that the flag did go up after missing that. It was a great one too. Seamus Coleman, he gets to the byline, great cutback.
Here come Everton again. Townsend in front of Richarlison, down the right wing. Good recovery, Taylor, to block the attempted cross and to put it out to a corner. The game's livening up again now. Corner to Everton.
This is much better from Everton. Look, as I said before, when they move at pace and drive and commit players, they're opening them up. This is how they do it.
What has started this Everton surge was that period with Richarlison, as you described, charging around like a bull, and the rest of the team has said, yeah, come on, let's go, let's get into this Burnley team. And suddenly Everton have been breaking into the opponent's penalty area twice in the space of 2 minutes. They've got a corner. Luca Digne's gone across to take it. Left-footed corner from the right-hand side as Everton come forward. Rain now beginning to fall steadily at Goodison. Burnley have got defenders on both posts. It's played in. Godfrey gets up and wins the header, but he can't direct it anywhere near the target. It is well wide, and it's a goal kick to Nick Pope. It is still Everton 0, Burnley 0. Alan Hutton.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an overhit corner. It's unlucky because it was a good opportunity. They were really building up a head of steam there just before the corner, but obviously the ball in the box just let Digne down there.
So Pope will take the goal kick. Nick Pope, 7 caps for England. Last March he played all 3 games of that international break for Gareth Southgate, but Pickford was able to get back in for the Euros. 2 rivals with England position up against each other at Goodison Park tonight. Here come Burnley. Westwood tries a first-time cross which hits Alan. I think his ankle was kind of dangling there as he blocked the ball, so he didn't have it clenched or sort of tense, and he's nothing serious, but he's just sort of hurt his ankle there as he blocked it out for a throw-in, which Burnley have taken. Lowton plays it off the back of Luca Digne, and that will be another throw into Burnley. 10 yards on the corner flag. They attack down the right-hand side. 0-0.
Yeah, it's good pressure from Burnley. They're keeping Everton kind of locked into their own half here. Lowton getting down the right-hand side and putting good balls into the box for Barnes to go and attack.
Here is Gudmundsson, runs into Ben Godfrey. Godfrey was a very astute signing at the start of last season from Norwich City, settled in very well at Everton. Keane heads it away. Townsend looked like he was pushed in the back. Play on, says the referee. Coleman picks it up on the edge of his own penalty area, and they should be able to clear. Richarlison got another little knock there, and he was slow to get back to his feet, but he is okay, and he's jogging to get back into position. Yerry Mina, the Colombian, clears away. Up towards Demarai Gray. Controlled it very well on his upper thigh. Tries to spin away from Tarkowski. Tarkowski sticking to him like glue. Coleman joins it. Tarkowski goes across to him as well. Excellent defending from him, and that goes out for a throw into Everton.
Excellent play there from Demarai Gray. Another great touch on the top of his thigh while moving at pace. So yeah, he's played really well. I've been impressed by him.
Yeah, he's done very well. Left Leicester, went to Leverkusen. Back in the Premier League now with Everton. As Dwight McNeil shows too much of it to Yerry Mina, and a big hoof. The ball goes out of play. That will give possession back to Burnley.
That is no nonsense defending. That is what that is.
That is the Peter Kay advert, and they're all doing the keepy ups, and he just have it.
Old school,
yes,
have it.
Yes.
Get rid.
Yerry Mina, he's got some great attributes and all the rest of it. He's not your typical former Barcelona player, but he's in this three-man central defence with Godfrey and Keane tonight. For Everton, no Mason Holgate tonight. He is on the bench. Ball back in play. We've got 3 minutes to go until half-time. 0-0 for now. Pope clears it long. Gudmundsson jumps, beaten in the air by Luca Dean. And then he gives it straight back to Gudmundsson. And eventually, a bit scrappy, ball goes out of play for a throw-in to Burnley. Rafa Benitez puts his hands into his jacket pockets. Looks like he's fishing around for a pen or something. Half-time team talk to come. Sean Dyche will still be the happier of the two coaches. What you reckon, Alan?
Yeah, I think so at the moment. I mean, I think Rafa Benitez looks a little bit frustrated, if I'm honest. He's gesturing to all his players. He wants them up, he wants them to be more aggressive and get the ball forward to the boys who can make something happen. But yeah, I mean, Sean Dyche at half-time would be very happy with his team's performance so far.
9 years in charge of Burnley, Sean Dyche. And by the way, we are in the 43rd minute now. You'll hear applause in the background. Everton are paying their respect to two Everton fans, Lee March and his daughter Sophie, who were tragically killed in the Plymouth shootings last month. Lee was 43 years of age, and that's why now, after 43 minutes of this game, they are applauding for Lee and Sophie. At Goodison Park as Burnley continue on the attack. Cross from Taylor from the left-hand side. Well claimed by Pickford, who launches it down the field. Richarlison his only target. Easy pickings for Tarkowski. Nice touch though from the Everton fans who were always very good. That sort of thing they tend to market very well. And they remember two of their own who were tragically killed last month. 0-0. Half-time almost upon us here at Goodison Park. Seamus Coleman in possession. Gives it up to Allen. Loses his feet. Loses the ball. Dwight McNeil dribbles with a bit of purpose now. Up over the halfway line. Lowton calls from it for right back and receives. Floats in the cross. Headed down by Mina. Important defensive clearance away. Everton look a bit thin at the back for some reason. Here is Gudmundsson on the left wing. Plays in a cross. Wood had gone to the front post. There was no on the back post. And Everton are able to clear it away. The game is stretching. Damari Gray onto Andros Townsend. Now can he pick this pass? He can. To Luca Dean on the left-hand side. He's got Richarlison in the middle. Good defending again from Tarkowski. He's been a brick wall in this first half. And Burnley get it away. 0-0.
Brick wall, you're right. Size of a brick wall is tough to get round him. But it was a great counter-attack there from Everton. Digne just couldn't pick out that final cross into the box. It just let him down there.
Here come Everton again. Luca Dean on the left-hand side. Plays it on to Damari Gray. Not a good pass though. Too close to Lowton. Lowton is going to win a free kick here as he's done very well. He just stood his ground. He knew Damari Gray was going to come into him, and a little bit of a lack of streetwiseness from Damari Gray there. He's bought it, and he's been able to give the foul to Burnley, which relieves a bit of pressure. Fourth officials about to hold up the board. We will see what's going to be added on for stoppages at the end of the first half, and it is a solitary minute. 1 minute to be added on. Everton 0, Burnley 0. It's been a game that's been threatening to really break into life. It's been competitive, but we still await that bit of magic just to give us the opening goal.
I think that's all we're missing. It is a little bit of magic. There has been some good play within the first 45 minutes, but it does need to pick up a bit for the second half.
One play forward by Brownhill, too much on it, and that runs out of play for an Everton goal kick. Everton, who travelled to Aston Villa on Saturday. They have got Queen's Park Rangers away in the League Cup next week, and the next home game here is Norwich at Goodison in the league the following Saturday. For Burnley, they've got 2 home games in a row for the next week or so. They host Arsenal in the Premier League on Saturday, and then Rochdale travel to Turf Moor in the League Cup. That's next Tuesday. Right, there's the minute played very quickly. That is half-time at Goodison. There's no doubt that Burnley had the best of the chances, Brownhill and Chris Wood, but down the other end, Decore really stung the gloves of the goalkeeper Nick Pope, and it's all level for now, Alan Hunt.
Yeah, it's actually been a not too bad game, even though we've not got the goal yet. I think Sean Dyche will go in at half-time very happy with his team's performance in the first half. He will be looking for more in the second, but I think it's up to now Everton to actually come out and try and make things happen, because out with the Decore effort, they've not really had much to go by.
Everton are missing Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Will we see Solomon Rondon make his Everton debut in the second half? For now, Everton 0, Burnley 0. Thanks, Mark. As you and I both know, it takes John Murray an hour and a half to eat a bowl of pasta without a 10-minute delay at the start, so that will be absolutely ruined. Thanks very much, Mark. Back on the way. No changes in personnel at the start of the second half here at Goodison. No goals in the first half. Chris Wood came close, Brownhill came close. Those are the best chances for Burnley. Doucouré had Everton's best opportunity. Now, who's going to start this second half the better? Reminder of the teams: Pickford, the Everton goalkeeper; Godfrey, Mina and Keane at the back three; Coleman and Digne, the wing backs; Allan and Doucouré in the middle of the midfield; Townsend, Gray and Richarlison are in the attack. There's no Dominic Calvert-Lewin. The Burnley team, it's the usual team: Pope in goal, Lowton, Tarkowski, Meehan Taylor, Gudmundsson, Westwood, Brownhill and McNeil, and then Barnes and Wood. What do you think, Alan? A game like this, you must have played in many of them over the years. Both teams will feel we can win this.
Yeah, this is a massive opportunity for both sides to get a big 3 points. Obviously for Everton to try and get up the top of the table, and Burnley to get away from that dreaded relegation zone and get a bit of momentum and confidence.
There has not been much in it so far. Coleman, right wing back position for Everton, gets around Dwight McNeil, feeds it up to Andros Townsend, and then Everton retreat again, and that has been a pattern in the game. They'd get it briefly into the Burnley half, but it's back to Pickford. Maybe a little bit more ambition needed from Everton. Let's see what Townsend can do here. Tries to turn away from Brownhill. Now he's got Digne outside him. Brownhill looks to have fouled him, and he has. Free kick within shooting distance for Everton. Brownhill held on and was dragged along. It was like train carriages there for a while. Townsend wasn't able to shrug him off. Referee gave it a moment to see if advantage will be played, and it'll be interesting to see where the ball is placed for this free kick. It should be where the challenge began, I would guess, unless he feels there was a second altercation that was more. But Everton certainly want this nice and close to the penalty area for the shot.
Yeah, of course it will, but if it's where the foul started, it would be about 60 yards away from goal. I think it was going on for a little bit there, but it was a great drive and run from Andros Townsend. That's what you expect from him, committing defenders, and he bought the foul there. Now it's in an excellent position.
This has got Luca Digne written all over it. 2 goals against Burnley in the past. He's only ever scored 5 goals for Everton, 2 of them against tonight's opponents, and he likes a shot from distance. We know that about him. So Burnley have got to erect a wall.
He's got excellent quality, but you'd maybe think it favours a right footer from there, from this side of the pitch.
It's the left-hand side as they come forward. Not by much, by the way. It's left of centre. Everyone else walks away. There's no decoy runner. It is going to be Digne. Can he spin this into the top corner? Luca Digne into the wall. Ashley Barnes and Tarkowski, I think, took the main brunt of it. It goes out for a throw-in to Everton on the far side. At Burnley's wall. No one's shirking in there. They just hold firm. Just seen a replay, actually. It was the head of Chris Wood.
That's not a problem with him.
Yeah,
get his face on it.
Everton 0, Burnley 0. Everton attacking the park end of the stadium in this second half. Lowton pinned in a bit by the corner flag, does well to get it away from Tamari Gray, and then puts it out for an Everton throw. Everton will remain on the attack, left-hand side as they come forward. Early stages of this second half. If you weren't with us in the first half, it was 45 minutes really crying out for the goal. Plenty of decent build-up play at both ends, really. Here's Tamari Gray. He'd one wild shot from distance in the first half. That was about it. Burnley have not had an away draw in the Premier League yet in 2021. 0-0, all square here for now. Richarlison, who's leading the line in the absence of Calvert-Lewin. Oh, Tarkowski. Now that's been coming. He drills through him. There's been a bit of tete-a-tete between Richarlison and the Burnley defenders today, and when Richarlison put his boot on that to stop it, Tarkowski says, I'm having you here, and he went through him, man-ball the whole lot, and bundled Richarlison into touch. It was very, very hard. Was it fair, Alan?
That was a proper tackle, that was. He was taking everything, ball, man. Richarlison's just trying to be quite smart. Oh, it's a great challenge. It is. It's a great challenge.
No, I mean, and jokes aside, you obviously don't want anyone to get hurt or whatever, but if the game of football becomes that's not allowed anymore, it's not going to be as good a game. It has led to a bit of retaliation. Tamari Gray is the latest to have been crunched, and there's been a little bit of needle in this game all the way through it. It's become a bit of an arm wrestle. Well, you just know Tarkovsky would have loved that satisfying crunch when he walloped into Richarlison there.
Yeah, it's just becoming a little bit spicy, and it just adds to the atmosphere. It's been great to the obviously start of the second half. Wonderful tackle.
We've seen the replay, the dismissive way, he just got up and walked away as well. He didn't make no concern for Richarlison having cleaned him out. Free kick to Everton. Digne to take on the left-hand side. Richarlison close to the header. Good clearance away by Josh Brownhill. He's got it well outside the penalty area. Everton will regain possession, but they're back in their own half with Coleman, who does a lovely little trick. Best step over I've seen from an Everton right back since Tony Hibbert all those days ago. And then a challenge comes in on Townsend, and Rafa Benitez wants a free kick, and the officials say no, and now Sean Dyche is in the ear of the fourth official, and this is a spicier game now.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit more spicier, and it just adds to the atmosphere. I think it's what it needed, both teams to be really up for it. And Burnley, they're not going to shuck out of tackles. Sean Dyche would not let his team do that, so they are up for this.
The only thing I will say about this, if this has become a physical challenge now, is I think Burnley will say, great, we've inverted commas dragged you to our level here. Absolutely we'll take you on in the physical challenge.
Yeah, exactly.
Do Everton need to be a bit cleverer than that?
I would think so. That's not Everton's game to be that way. Burnley are trying to make it a physical battle, and 9 times out of 10 they will win that challenge, so that's good from their point. But I think Everton, they just need to use their head a little bit, settle down, make some passes and do it quickly.
There has been one yellow card in the second half, and it's for Josh Brownhill. Ben Mee has possession, 10 yards inside his own half, goes long, searching for Ashley Barnes. Godfrey wins it on the edge of his own penalty area, straight to Westwood though. Then Keane clears away for Everton. Doucouré gets in a bit of a tangle, helped out by Allan. Chance of a counter-attack here. Demarai Gray stretched as he turned and he couldn't receive possession. Groans from the Everton fans, it breaks down. And look at Sean Dyche down there rolling his arms and saying, come on, get going. Charlie Taylor, fouled by Andros Townsend. Free kick to Burnley, midway inside the Everton half. And the yellow card is coming out again. And this time it's for Andros Townsend. And the boos in the background will tell you what the Everton fans make of that.
Yeah, I mean, he did kind of have a little tug at him. Probably a yellow card. It's probably soft compared to some of the tackles and stuff that we've seen. But look, when you do that, you're normally going to get a yellow card.
And just Townsend, another former teammate of yours, Alan, at Tottenham in the past. I mean, he's got all the talent in the world. He's scored some brilliant goals over the years. It'll be interesting to see how he fares at Everton this season.
Yeah, he's been excellent. And the thing that he does give you is 110%.
Dwight McNeil sends in the free kick. Doesn't quite sit up for Gudmundsson, but he's managed to turn and back into the danger zone. And Burnley have got the lead, and it's Ben Mee again. The Burnley captain, 8 minutes exactly into the second half, gives Sean Dyche's team the lead. They won here at Goodison Park on their last visit in March. The warning signs had been ringing in the Everton ears, but they haven't been able to heed them. And Ben Mee gets his first goal of this season. Inevitably it did come from a set piece. Credit to Gudmundsson for swinging it back in there. We're seeing the replay, there's no offside. It's another Ben Mee corner. It's his 7th ever Premier League goal. 6 of them have been headers.
They've done absolutely brilliant to keep that alive, obviously from the free kick. Gudmundsson out wide. What a beautiful ball, and it's just dying for somebody to get on the end of it. And you know Mee is going to run through brick walls to try and get on the end of it, and he surely does. He kind of gets away from, I think, is it Mina? I think it is, and it's a fantastic header. It was a bullet, it was never going to be saved. Great finish, and this is what that game needed.
Ben Mee scored against Sheffield United in December. He scored against Aston Villa in January. That game actually in January was the last time Burnley won a home match. They got a win away from home here at Goodison Park. Ben Mee's header. And Sean Dyche will feel his team deserved it. They had long spells on top of the first half. Here come Everton. Coleman into the penalty area. Ben Mee hurts himself in making the challenge, but he does get the ball out for a corner. He'll be okay. He's just received a blow in a painful spot. He'll get up and he'll wince, but he'll be all right.
Ben Mee is fantastic, isn't it? One end, he's thrown his head onto a ball there. He's firing his body in the way, making blocks. Excellent defending.
Right, this is a test for Everton now. They've not been at the races so far. Damari Gray tries to cross from the right hand side. Everton fan in front of us gets up and waves his hand dismissively, disgusted at that attempt from Damari Gray. Sean Dyche has got the jacket off. He's in the white shirt sleeves now. He's clapping furiously. He knows the winners on the cards here for Burnley. Coleman plays it into the penalty area. Godfrey is forward, wins the header but can't pick out a teammate, and it runs through to Nick Pope, who's able to pick the ball up. Everton 0, Burnley 1.
It's the one thing, Burnley deserved this. I thought they'd been excellent. They were good in the first half. They've started the second half really well. They're putting balls into the box. They're moving the ball quickly and making things happen.
Here they come again. Wood takes it down on his chest. Yerry Mina strands, tall and strong, and holds up Chris Wood, who's still got possession, who's been shepherded out of the penalty area on the right hand side. Lucadinho will win the ball back briefly for Everton. He's tackled by Lowton, and it will be an Everton throw. The game being played at a very fast pace now. There was that little arm wrestle period where we were describing how the tackles were crunching in. Burnley turned it into an arm wrestle, and they're delighted, and they've got the lead now, and I'm not quite sure how Everton turned this around.
Yeah, I mean, they've definitely roughened a few feathers in this second half. They're putting in some strong tackles, but fair ones, but they're on the front foot and they're being aggressive and they're upsetting Everton. They don't really know how to handle it at this moment in time.
Tarkovsky's winning headers for fun. Burnley fans are bouncing up and down on the far side. They're very much enjoying this. They're hoping this is about to come their first win in the Premier League of this season. Burnley, who did score very early on the opening day against Brighton but still lost the match 2-1, so Sean Dyche won't be counting any chickens just yet. However, a lead is a lead. Ben Mee's header, Everton 0, Burnley 1. Michael Keane in possession, deepest lying Everton defender. Ben Godfrey to his left hand side, short to Digne. High press again from Burnley. No easy route out of their own half for Everton. Keane will go long. Taylor's going to run across here and wins the header for Burnley. It's comfortable for Sean Dyche's defence at the moment, but that's when things can be most dangerous, is when you think you're comfortable. Damari Gray lays it off to Townsend, and Taylor's in again to win it. Nothing fancy, puts it out for a throw.
I'll tell you one thing, it's incredible how hard working this Burnley side are. You see Sean Dyche screaming at his players to get back, and they listen, they run back as quickly back as they do going forward. It's great to see.
Throw in for Everton. Still plenty of time here. They've got 33 minutes on the big stadium clock to play, but they trail by a goal to nil. Coleman back to Yerry Mina on the halfway line. Chris Wood being urged by Dyche to keep that pressure on, and he does force a mistake. Mina's passing stats won't be great tonight. He's given it away on numerous occasions. Lowton up to the halfway line, right full-back position for Burnley, and then realises nothing ahead of him, so he stops and turns, gives it back to Tarkovsky, and Dwight McNeil wins a header on the halfway line, and Mina diving header, that's better from the Colombian, heads it away, comes straight back to him. Wood, ball bounces right on the chalk of the touchline, and it's gone out for an Everton throw inside their own half. Rafa Benitez turns from his position standing on the edge of the technical area and goes and sits down in the Goodison dugout. He's about to make a change. Andre Gomes has been summoned from the substitutes who've been warming up, and the Portuguese player, the former Barcelona man, looks like he is about to enter the fray. Chris Wood flicks on ahead.
There's one thing I was sitting here wondering when obviously Benitez was going to make a change, because I think it's crying out for one at the moment. It's kind of went a little bit stale. They're not really playing the way we know they can, so I was thinking obviously they've got a good bench, they've got good quality there, so it looks like he is going to make that change.
Burnley lead by a goal to nil. Yerry Mina in possession. Burnley, who only scored 19 away goals in the Premier League in all of last season. Well, they've got an away goal tonight that could make life difficult for Everton. Here's Doucouré. Quiet second half from him so far. Gets it back from Lucadinho. Left-hand side of the midfield as Everton come forward. Back out to the Frenchman again. Here's Digne's cross. Cut out its source though, as the Burnley defence tend to do so often. But Munson's deflection means corner for Everton.
Yeah, they're just starting to pile on a little bit of pressure of their own. I think this is what's needed. Get the ball out wide and really test this back four of Burnley, because up until now they're out with the one good effort from Doucouré. They've not really had much to write home about.
Corner to Everton. Digne to take. He has almost reached the hour mark. It's rolled short to Damari Gray. He places in a shot. A few groans, I think, from Everton fans who just wanted it played into the box there. None of this short corner stuff. Coleman to the near touchline. Townsend, 15 yards from the byline. Ben Mee in front of him. Back onto the left foot. Great delivery, correct got back in it, and the lead lasted 7 minutes. Headed from a central defender, Bernley at one end, headed from a central defender at the other. Michael Keane, against his own club, makes it Everton 1, Burnley 1.
It's a great cross from Andros Townsend. He does really well. He feigns as if he's going to go down the line and then checks back onto his left. Lovely in-swinging header, and then Keane makes a fantastic run right across towards the front post. Great header, good goal. This is what Everton needed. They needed a lift, and this surely will give them it now.
Both goals so similar, really. Quality deliveries from the right wing on each occasion. That was lovely from Townsend. And Michael Keane, who Everton paid Burnley £25 million to sign him. Sean Dyche had taken Keane from Manchester United back in the day. He scores against his own club. And here comes the change. Andre Gomes, midfielder, comes on in place of Ben Godfrey, defender. Change of formation. Everton go to a flat back four.
I think this is better. I much prefer watching Everton when they play the four at the back. When you go three, the tendency is your wing backs to sit in very deep, and they were for large parts of that game playing with five at the back, and it wasn't helping them get forward at all.
Well, we said it was a game that needed a goal. We've had 2 goals, and it should be all the more entertaining for it now. Digne, closed down by Goodmanson. He's growing into the game a lot. His presence has become more and more visible. Alain, the deepest lying Everton player here, plays it up towards Richarlison. Too high for him. Ben Mee playing a sweeper roll in behind. He'll pick it up and roll it back to the goalkeeper. Goodison crowd cheering as Richarlison here sprints. He began that inside his own half, sprinted in on Pope to try and put a bit of pressure on him. That's what Everton want to see more of. The clearance, though, well controlled by Chris Wood. Dwight McNeil will pick up possession. Trails his way out to the left wing in front of Taylor. Taylor challenged by Coleman. Referee says goal kick. Fair challenge. I think Taylor's every right to show a look to the referee and feel he was being fouled by Coleman, but Coleman is a wily, experienced player. He knew exactly what he was doing there. He just about stayed on the right hand side of the law.
Yeah, he done well, Coleman there. He just eases him out of play. He just has that kind of know-how just to give him a little nudge in the back, just ease him out the park, and he eventually runs out of space. Good defending there.
Ben Mee and Michael Keane, the goal scorers. Everton 1, Burnley 1. Pickford's clearance high down the centre of the pitch. Ben Mee holding on to Richarlison, clears the ball away. Then Dwight McNeil's clearance into Coleman. Sean Dyche claps again. Throw in to Burnley. It's all positivity from Sean Dyche. He's giving players thumbs up. He's saying well done. He's giving almost like pats on the back, from a distance as he waves his hand there. He will be disappointed, of course, to have conceded that equaliser, but he knows his team have every chance to go and get another the way they've been playing.
He's very aggressive, isn't he? It's funny watching him there. He's actually shouting over Rafa Benitez. He's right out in front of him, just shouting over the top of him is good.
Shouting in that graveliest voice in football that he has, of course, Sean Dyche. Too much shouting over the years, I think, has led to that. Chris Wood's physicality wins a throw-in for Burnley, attacking position down the left, and body language of the Burnley players suggests they know this is going to go long into the penalty area. Charlie Taylor takes his time as he walks to get the ball. Some Everton fans give him the bird. They want him to hurry up. Here it comes. Throw-in, level of the edge of the Everton penalty area. Is back to Dwight McNeil. And now Brownhill, the deepest lying of the Burnley midfielders, has got Tarkowski on his right shoulder. Andre Gomes tries to close things down and forces Tarkowski to play a bit of an aimless pass, actually. He's hardly put a foot wrong, but that wasn't a good pass from Tarkowski. Ball comes straight back to him here, and Burnley regain possession once again. 64 minutes on the clock, 1-1. Mistake by Ben Mee, pounced upon by Townsend. Here is Doucouré, low ball into Richarlison, challenged by Tarkowski. Good challenge, referee was very close to it, needed to be careful inside the penalty area. Westwood plays one over the top for Barnes to chase after. Keane has got a big head start on him and comfortably gets there first. 1-1, Alan Hutton.
It's definitely opening up now, isn't it? Especially since that second goals went in, things have opened. It's become a little bit of a basketball game, both sides giving the ball away, some sloppy mistakes, but it's good for us.
Yeah, enjoyable game, and it definitely feels there are more goals. Here is Townsend. He's grown into the match. Cuts in on his left boot, steadies himself, and scores a beauty! Oh, wow, that's good from Andros Townsend. He pulled the trigger. He hit it to the top corner, and I don't think there's any goalkeeper in the world was going to save that. Andros
What a fantastic strike from Andros Townsend. He will hopefully have this on record and watch it back later. It's great. He just drives with the ball. He's opened the pitch out onto his left foot, and what a stunning strike. You could have two goalkeepers in the net and still wouldn't have saved that. To beat somebody of Pope's quality with that strike just shows you how good a goal it actually was. Fantastic goal from Andros Townsend.
Wow, from 1-0 down, Everton lead 2-1 at Goodison Park. A game that is electrified in the second half, and there was a swagger about that. There was a confidence. He had delivered a brilliant cross to set up the Michael Keane goal, and when Townsend collected that, you could see he's thinking, I fancy this, you know, and despite the distance, he could not have hit it sweeter. Burnley trying to come on the attack down the other end. Have they got an equaliser in them? Decore for Everton will bring it up to the halfway line and play a great ball for Damari Gray. He's in, one-on-one, it's 3-1! 2 goals in 2 minutes, and like that, Everton have probably stolen the game. 3-1.
What a fantastic 5 minutes, honestly, from Everton. The roof has actually come off this place. It's a great through ball. Damari Gray's on to the flash. The ball's opened up everywhere the last 5-10 minutes. He's really composed on the ball. He settles himself down. He waits for Pope to commit himself, and then he just slides the ball past him to his right hand side. It's a fantastic finish. This game has turned on its head in the last 5 minutes.
Well, a lot of written journalists around us in the press box, and I feel a few critical articles may have been written about Everton's performance tonight, and that the delete button is being used furiously now, because talk about game changers. Keane's header, Townsend's wonder strike, Damari Gray carving through this Burnley defence that we've been praising all night, how well drilled and organised they are. They just parted like hot knife through butter there, and Damari Gray has now scored in 3 Premier League games in a row. £1.7 million, bargain.
Oh, absolute bargain. Fantastic finish. And I tell you what, the pass from Decore, he's got his head up, he's looking, he's scanning the pitch. It's a wonderful through ball. And Damari Gray is so calm, cool, collected, takes his time. I mean, look at the confidence now. Flicks and tricks.
Little back heel from Damari Gray. Decore, who had won a tackle before he released that pass. I mean, he's absolutely grown into the match, and here he is again. Everton looking to turn the screw now. We've still a quarter of the game to go. Andre Gomes on the edge of the penalty area. Bounced it and suit him. Lays it off to Coleman. Low it again! He did it again! What about this? Decore! But the flag is raised. Everton fans are in dreamland here.
Yeah.
Where's this been?
That was unbelievable, and I tell you what, it all came from the formation change. They're not now sitting in their own box defending as a 5. Gomez has come on, he's calm on the ball, he's making things happen, he's moving the ball quickly, and things are happening. He can see the space, and he's exploiting it.
Goal disallowed for Abdullah Decore, but he just shows a toothy grin. He smiles it off because he knows his team are played so well now. I don't think Rafa's going to go back to the 5 at the back anytime soon. I mean, as you say, what a change in fortune for Everton with a switch to the back 4.
No, that 5 at the back should be shelled, not to be used again after I've just seen this and witnessed this performance in the last 15 minutes since he changed formation. It's been outstanding, and this formation suits them to a T.
Everton fans absolutely enjoying this now, on their feet around Goodison Park. Keane scored 60 minutes, Townsend scored 65, Gray scored 66, Decore had a goal disallowed 69. It could have been 4 goals in 9 minutes.
Unbelievable.
It's ridiculous. And this is a game that was crying out for any goal.
Yeah. We were hoping at half-time, weren't we, for a goal? Just anything, just something. And then there you go. The last 10-15 minutes have been unbelievable.
The Townsend goal, the pick off them though. You might remember a few years back he was nominated for the FIFA Puskas Award, the award for the best goal on the planet in world football, and that was a volley against Manchester City. I mean, I don't think this will be nominated for the Puskas or anything like that, but it was just such a sweet strike. Cracking goal from Townsend. That put them 2-1 up, and Everton have just got into overdrive. Burnley, frankly, don't know what's hit them here. They don't know what they've done wrong. They've been playing well in the game, but suddenly the tide has completely turned against them. This is Richarlison. Remember, Burnley had the 1-0 lead in this game. Ben Mee's header not that long ago, but Everton have turned it around and now lead 3-1. Coleman on the halfway line, spins and clears it away up towards Richarlison. Everton are winning all the 50-50s now. Doucouré though with a stray pass away. McNeil picks it up for Burnley. Back to Taylor. His chip is well kept in against a very tight corner, the touchline right on top of him there by Barnes. This is good close touch control for Burnley, and Coleman makes a tackle to put the ball out. Sean Dyche is keeping the heads up, thumbs up, claps. Still feels there might be some momentum that can be regenerated by his team.
Sean Dyche will be wondering what's just happened over the last 15 minutes. I mean, their game plan was working perfectly. They were actually making the game into a fight also.
Ball played long forward by Burnley looking for Wood, but too long and straight through to Pickford. He rolls it out low to Allen. That change, Gomez coming on for Godfrey, and Everton are a new team. Gray wins it up against the edge of the Burnley penalty area. Dean tried to flick it beyond Lowton but played it up into his chest, so Burnley will clear away. Doucouré here takes it down inside the centre circle, plays it out to Coleman, right fullback, over the halfway line to Andros Townsend. What a second half Townsend has had. Doucouré back to Coleman again in the white boots. Everton dominating the possession now. Neat triangular passing. Burnley are trying to keep up this high work rate that they do, but that's all well and good at 0-0 or 1-0 up, but when you find yourself 3-1 down, it's demoralising and it's hard to keep that tough running going. Dean gets onto a pass on the left wing for Everton. He's got an easy ball in field to Andre Gomez, just outside the Burnley penalty area. Damari Gray back to Andre Gomez 2-3 times between the pair of them. Now Andre Gomez gives it back to the halfway line again to Michael Keane. It's been at least 3 or 4 minutes since Everton have had the ball in the back of the net, and by their standards it's a real turn up. Here he goes, Townsend again, hits it again, what a shot, what a save! Nick Pope, he was heading for the top corner and he got both hands on it to push it away. Coleman's cross on the right hand side. Everton transformed and playing some really good football here at Goodison.
Honestly, it's like night and day. It's a whole different team that's come out the second half since the formation change. They've been fantastic.
Luca Digne onto Damari Gray, into Doucouré. Someone's got to make a tackle here. Andre Gomez! How did he miss? 7 yards out, he's put it wide. Really, Everton could be 5 or 6-1 up now. They are just creating chances time and time again. And Andre Gomez, just a little bit of composure is all that was needed there. But Burnley got to do better in defence.
Yeah, Doucouré does excellent. A little give and go with Gomez. It just had to wrap his foot round it a little bit more. It's an excellent effort. I think actually the offside flag went up if I think it did anyway. So it would have been offside. But look, I think since the change in formation they've been absolutely excellent, well worth this. And look, Burnley don't know what's hit them at the moment. A deer in the headlights.
You know, they had been doing so well in the game. When they went 1-0 up, we both said they deserved to be 1-0 up. And that was only about 15 minutes ago. Here's Wood into the penalty area. Brownhill on the turn, has scooped it, nearly dipped in. It was a cross-come shot that went over the goalkeeper and agonisingly for Burnley bounced away from the net. And it has gone out for a corner off a defender. Corner to Burnley on the right-hand side. It is 3-1 Everton. If Burnley could get one back, we could be in for a classic of a finish tonight at Goodison Park on 5 Live.
Yeah, we could be in for a cracker if that happens. I think Pickford was a little bit nervous there. He was scrambling towards his back post as it looked up and over his head, but just went the other side of the post, thankfully for Everton.
16 minutes to play, 5 Live and BBC Sounds tonight. The Premier League under the floodlights at Goodison Park. The corner is played in. Tarkowski gets ahead to it, but he can't propel it towards goal. Gudmundsson collects, sent back in with interest. Pickford decided to come and was challenged in the air, and the ball bounces into the net, and Burnley feel they've scored, but it's going to be disallowed again. Flag on the far side. Referee's assistant disallowing the goal just as Burnley thought they had got it back to 3-2. Sean Dyche is going to go for it. He's going to bring on 2 attacking players here, but so close to another goal, Alan.
Yeah, it was so close. It was a good ball into the box. Pickford, I think he's just made the wrong decision. He's just rushed out his goal and he's been met just by a brick wall basically, and he kind of falls over. The ball goes in the back net, but look, it's offside, doesn't count anyway. Kind of spared his blushes there a little bit, but
it did.
He's real unlucky.
Pickford. It was one of those, he just decided he was coming, and I think if he had given another fraction of a second, he'd have said, no, I'm going to stay. And Burnley thought they'd scored. Right, Lennon and Vidra are the two who are about to come on. Aaron Lennon will come on against his old club. Played 77 appearances, 9 goals for Everton in the past for Aaron Lennon. And the other change, Matty Vidra, who's had a good week. I saw this game actually. He's got a last-minute equaliser for the Czech Republic against Ukraine last week. They were about to lose the game at home, and he popped up with a good late equaliser. So Vidra will come on in place of Ashley Barnes, and Lennon is on for Gudmundsson. Fresh legs for Burnley. They're going to need them.
Yes, attacking substitution, they need to go for it now. They need to try and create opportunities. Aaron Lennon, we know what he's going to give. He got pace down that right hand side, he's got a trick, he can get balls in the box, and that's what Burnley need at the moment.
Back at Burnley again, Aaron Lennon. He played in Turkey last season. He was at Kayserispor, made 36 league appearances for them, but back in English football once again. He's got a very Turkish looking beard now actually, which he's displaying proudly down there. He looks like a man who's been abroad.
Yeah,
people come back with a funny tattoo or a funny hairdo. He's just got that look about him. I've been on foreign shores.
He's rocking his beard well,
which none of us have been, of course, in recent times, which is why it stands out. Right, the change has been made. We've already had Keane score against his old club. Could Lennon score against his old club tonight? There are 14 minutes remaining. Long way to go still. Michael Keane onto Alan just inside the Burnley half. His left-footed ball is headed away by Tarkovsky in the edge of the Burnley penalty area. Gomes gets it down on the deck, and now Yerry Mina had it. Everton had a purple patch of a 10-minute spell where they could do no wrong. Can they just press on that accelerator once again? Bernley comes in forcefully over the top of Andre Gomes and heads it out for an Everton throw. Everton 3, Burnley 1.
Yeah, it's been excellent play from Everton in this second half. Really good, moving the ball a lot sharper than they did the first half. I know we mentioned about the formation change, but everything just seems that little bit quicker in the second half, and Burnley are struggling to deal with it.
So it will be a throw into Burnley. Taylor to take. Can they build up some momentum once again? A game that for long periods Burnley were doing very well in. They had the lead. Wood with the flicked on header. Vidra, first touch for him since coming on, tackled immediately by Michael Keane. Doucouré takes it down, back to Coleman, stretching, clears it off the face of Dwight McNeil, out for an Everton throw.
I think that's a difficult thing from a Burnley point of view. When you're down the bottom and you're struggling for the wins, and you've played that well tonight, you're in the lead and you end up down 3-1. It can be devastating for your confidence moving forward. That's the only thing I fear for them.
Champions League football tomorrow on 5 Live. We have a double header for you. Young Boys against Manchester United is a 5:45 kickoff, and then we'll bring you Chelsea against Zenit St. Petersburg from 8 o'clock. On Wednesday, it's Liverpool against AC Milan. Here's Andre Gomes. They're all trying long-range shots now for Everton. Well, that one was very skewed, and it was about as wide as his effort from 7 or 8 yards out just a few moments ago. Not threatening Nick Pope in the Burnley goal at all.
No, that kind of looked like me having a shot from that distance. I thought it was going to clear the stand there. Bit speculative, but hey, look, confidence is high, why not?
Live football continues back end of the week. We've got Newcastle against Leeds. It's an 8 o'clock kickoff on Friday night. You can listen to that here on 5 Live. On Saturday, our pick of the 3 o'clock games sees Burnley in action once again. Will be a turf war for Burnley against Arsenal. Ian Dennis will be round the grounds. And then on Sunday, it's a 4:30 start. It's a big game on Sunday. Tottenham hosts Chelsea. You can hear it here on 5 Live from the BBC. Wood back to Brownhill, midway inside the Everton half. McNeil cutting in off that left wing as he likes to do, guides in a decent ball but headed away inside the Everton penalty area. Townsend controls it, gives it to the feet of Richarlison, back to Doucouré, nice pass into space for Gomes. Now Damari Gray is allowed to turn and run to the penalty area once again, fancies the shot, drills it into Ben Mee. The defender stood tall in front of him, he thought he could squeeze it through. Brave block again by the Burnley defence. It remains 3-1 to Everton. The clock ticks on. We have 10 minutes plus the stoppages to go.
Richarlison absolutely raging there. Did you see him? He's made a really clever run straight through the middle. Damari Gray really has to play the ball in. He holds on to it too long. Look, it is a good run, but I think he just chose the wrong option at the last moment there.
Rafa Benitez is about to make a change, and we are going to see for the first time in an Everton shirt, Salomon Rondon turns 32 later on this week. Newcastle fans voted him their Player of the Year in 2019. He left at the end of that season to go to China with Rafa Benitez. Here he is, back in English football. He is a player the coach knows well. He will come on in place of Richarlison, who's had a bit of a thankless task tonight. He's had to chase down lost causes. He's tried to fill in the void left by Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and he will get a standing ovation as he leaves the pitch. And a welcome to Goodison Park and a debut for Salomon Rondon.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Rondon play here. I think he's got a lot of attributes to help Everton move forward, but just watching Richarlison there, he is not happy one bit to get taken off. He's even threw his toys out the pram there, wouldn't even talk to the manager, but it just shows you what he's all about. He's desperate to win, he's desperate to stay on the pitch for his team.
Rondon has come on, has scored 3 goals against Burnley in the past. They all came when he was a West Bromwich Albion player. Yerry Mina with his knee ensures that Mati Vidra can't get a touch. Everton leading 3-1 here. 5 live on BBC Sounds. 9 minutes plus the stoppages to go. No change in formation with that substitution. Rondon will play that target man role through the middle. Westwood onto Lennon for Burnley. Good work by Damari Gray to get it back again. He's had a very good game, Gray. As Westwood regains the ball again inside the centre circle for Burnley. Wood has to be strong under pressure from Allen. Forced backwards, but Burnley do hold on to possession. Brownhill back to Tarkowski. Tarkowski won't believe his team has conceded 3 today. I mean, he's defended so well.
They have. Look, it was a crazy 10-15 minutes. Over most of the game, they've defended really well. They've put their bodies on the line, and it was kind of like deers in the headlights. It could have been more. It could have been a couple more.
So this is, as it stands, going to be 1 point from their opening 4 games for Burnley as Vidra chases the ball down the left wing and allows it out because he saw it take a deflection, and he knows that will be a corner to Burnley. They also had a slow start last season. They only took 1 point from the opening 4 Premier League games as well. They didn't win in the league until their 8th game last season, Burnley. Sure, Sean Dyche, having gone through that last year, would have been thinking, come on, let's have a good start to the season. Let's get up, healthily mid-table, top half in the early weeks of the campaign. But for now, Burnley looks set to stay in the bottom 3 of the formative table tonight, unless there's a late twist in the tail here. 7.5 minutes of normal time to go. Corner played in by Westwood. Tame shot by McNeil on the edge of the area, and very comfortably saved by Pickford.
Rondon doing well there. Defensive duties, heading the ball out the box. Well done. That's what he's on for as well, to help out in that defensive unit.
Rondon, who is looking for a goal in his Everton debut. Clearance by Pickford, high up towards the man from Venezuela, who's beaten to it by Ben Mee, and that goes out for an Everton throw. Ben Mee, whose goal earlier on tonight had put Burnley 1-0 in front before Everton really went through the gears and stepped up the quality to a whole new level in the game. I mean, there was a spell in this game where Everton were playing Champions League football. I mean, world-class football.
Yeah, they were brilliant. Second half, they were excellent. And it's all to do with the formation. They just didn't look at ease for me in the first half. We were playing at the 5. I think as soon as they changed, you've seen the better players come to the fore.
Andre Gomes missed controls, but then wins it back again. And this is the problem Burnley have at the moment. Gomes sends it in front of Digne. Bit of grass for Rodrigo on the left wing. Lowton comes out to try and close down that space. Doucouré is available for Digne. Good work by Lennon. Gets a touch, and Burnley do regain possession. Westwood to Aaron Lennon. Cuts back in and rolls it back to Tarkowski. The clock ticks on. 6 minutes of normal time to go. Everton with the 2-goal cushion. Taylor up to the halfway line to Dwight McNeil on his 100th Premier League appearance. Townsend working hard in front of him, and now Brownhill gives it short to Westwood, but Burnley are still inside their own half. Burnley have got 2 league games in a row after this. They're two home games in a row. They host Arsenal in the Premier League, and they've got Rochdale in the League Cup. Burnley, who beat Newcastle in penalties in the last round of that competition. Long ball forward by Westwood, comfortably headed away by Michael Keane. Alan Hutton.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in this situation myself. Aston Villa, when you're down at the bottom, you're searching for that first 3 points. It can be mentally tough. I mean, obviously we know Sean Dyche will keep his team going and keep them up for it, but when you play this well and you still get beat 3-1, it can be difficult to take.
Well, without their top scorer, their top forward, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Everton have still got the goals tonight, and that will give good reassurance to Rafa Benitez. Bernley goes long and searching, but it's all got a bit desperate now from Burnley. They lack the assuredness that they had earlier on in the match. They're just returning possession to Everton here. And it's going to be a final throw of the dice, though. Jay Rodriguez, the striker, is going to come on for the closing minutes. He's only got 5 minutes plus the stoppages to go. Doucouré, forward for Everton, blocked out by Lowton, throw in to the hosts.
Yeah, I mean, Burnley might as well go for it now. If they can get a quick goal, you never know what could happen. So they're down 3-1. They have to throw everything at it in the last 5-6 minutes.
These sides who are due to meet again on Boxing Day will have a much better idea by then how their respective seasons are panning out. But as things stand, Everton are about to go joint top of the early Premier League table, up to 10 points, which is the tally that Manchester United, Chelsea and Liverpool have so far. All those teams with 3 wins and 1 draw so far, no defeats for any of them. And Burnley are going to find themselves with just 1 point to show for their 4 games and in the relegation zone. When they meet again by Boxing Day, it'll be very interesting to see how much has changed. Chris Wood leaves the field looking disgruntled. It's not been his night, he's worked hard, and he's been replaced by Jay Rodriguez.
He's done well up there. I mean, sometimes it can be a thankful task having to run channels, hold the ball up, put yourself about. So he's done that really well. He's caused problems, and that's his night over.
Vidra and Rodriguez now the front two. Barnes and Wood having departed. Jay Rodriguez, who scored against Everton back in his West Bromwich Albion days, another with a connection at the Hawthorns. The ball is slow to come back from the crowd here. Burnley waiting to take the throw. Referee's asking, I think he's asking for a new ball there. He's not. He's saying Everton can make a change. So Alex Iwobi's going to get a very late cameo here. Former Arsenal man. Tamari Gray is the player who'll depart, and it's a standing ovation. Boy, do they like the look of him. 3 Premier League games in a row now he has scored. The former Leicester player, the signing from Leverkusen, has settled in so well here at Goodison.
He's been excellent. He's really hit the ground running, and look, the fans love him. Standing ovation and thoroughly deserved. Everything that Everton have done has been good tonight. It mainly came through him, so he can be really happy with his night's work. And like I spoke to you before, probably a few eyebrows raised when he first came for 1.7 million, but what a buy. Brilliant.
So Alex Iwobi is on for the closing stages here. We'll be talking golf from 10 o'clock on 5 Live ahead of the Ryder Cup, and Padraig Harrington having made his picks. Westwood gives the ball to Lowton, but I think Burnley realise here, and have done for some time, that their goose is cooked now. 3-1 down. The goals all came in a very quick flurry in the second period. This is a game that was 0-0 at half-time. Burnley took the lead early in the second half, but since then it's been all Everton, and they have turned the tide and might even have scored more than the 3 that they have on the scoreboard at the moment. That's really good work by Vidra to get away from Mina, but Allen is lurking in behind to make sure that Vidra can't get back into the penalty area.
Excellent play from Vidra there. He just uses that low centre of gravity to just swing round Mina, who's obviously a lot taller than him, and gets the throw-in out of it.
Yeah, there was a few guys who could have been legacies of the Ancelotti era at Everton. Obviously, they had Moise Keane with the Italian connection. They had James Rodriguez, who's still at the club and very associated with Ancelotti. But I just wonder if Alan will be the legacy from that Ancelotti spell. That he looks such a good player. I can't imagine there are many Premier League teams that Alan wouldn't get in the side.
No, he's a fantastic player. Look, you can see him organising. Look, there's 5 minutes to go, and he's ushering all the players round about, telling them where to be. He's got a wealth of experience, and that's what he's using at the moment. I think he's been a fantastic buy, and hopefully he stays for a long time, because he's one of the top players for Everton.
Getting to see another replay of that Townsend goal. I mean, if he had tried that 100 times, he would not have done it any better. It just rolled along the inside of the net as it went in, right in the very top corner and dipping into the top corner. I mean, unsavable. Here's Jay Rodriguez down the other end. We're in the final minute of the 90. Burnley keep plugging away because that's their mentality. They never give up, regardless of circumstance. But 3-1 down here, about to slip into stoppage time. This is surely going to be 3 points for Everton. Charlie Taylor comes in the attack, down the left-hand side for Burnley, tries to cut in on Coleman. Coleman puts it out for a corner. Townsend applauds that, and it will be a corner to Burnley, which Westwood is going to sprint out to take on the left-hand side. Everton 3, Burnley 1, and we will very shortly see what's going to be added on for stoppages here. And my guess is 4 minutes. Here comes the delivery. Pickford, one hand, punches it away, and it is 4 minutes. It's to face the board as it comes up down below. It's Andre Gomes, edge of the penalty area. Short to Decore, midway inside the Everton half. It has been good game management from Everton in the second half. They have had to ride the storm on occasion tonight. They've had to come from 1-0 down, but the enthusiasm from Everton fans for this new Rafa Benitez reign will only have grown in confidence tonight. Here's the other new man, Rondon, down by the byline on the right hand side. Coleman wants him to stay out there, points and waits until he does do so, and then gives the ball to the Venezuelan again. This is Andre Gomes. This is all edge of the Burnley penalty area on the right hand side. Townsend comes inside a tired looking Taylor, tries to cut back, and he actually stood on the ball, but he did well, Townsend. He didn't lose it, and the Everton fans like that, and their team still has possession. Gomes, they're toying with Burnley now. They are dangling a ball of wool over a kitten here, and Burnley don't like that, but Everton absolutely loving life at the moment.
It's excellent play from Everton. They're just running down the clock, they're keeping possession, and real good possession. Now they're getting out, they're making spaces.
Fans are cheering every pass. Rondon to Decore, to Townsend, a side of goal, flashes it across. Iwobi's at the back post, one defender in front of him, back into the middle. Oh, it's almost too congested. They tried to score the perfect goal there, Everton. They very nearly did. They are really enjoying themselves out there.
If that had went in, that would have been the best goal I had seen in a while. There must have been about 50 passes there, working it from side to side and then going forward. Really unlucky, brilliant play.
It's using good passes as well.
Yeah, it wasn't like it was just a nothing pass, just 5 yards. It was actually, they were making a difference. They were moving forward with the ball, and it ended up with an opportunity.
Rafa's reign at Everton is going to be very interesting indeed. If there were any doubters, these opening 4 games of the Premier League season will surely have swayed opinion. Decore on the halfway line, well into the period of stoppages now. Burnley have hard work to do, as they would have expected, of course, as they do coming into any season. The resources they have compared to so many of the other clubs are limited, and yet they always manage to fight above their weight. There's a shot from distance from McNeil, comfortably into the chest of the England goalkeeper Jordan Pickford.
Yeah, I don't think he was ever really going to trouble Pickford from that range. It was a good run from McNeil. He's probably been the bright spark, I think, for Burnley out on this left-hand side. It was a good effort, but never going to trouble Pickford.
More live football tomorrow on 5 Live. Young Boys of Bern, the Swiss side against Manchester United, 5:45pm kickoff. John Murray just finishing his bowl of pasta now. He'll be just gently mopping the base of the plate with a crust of bread. And as he waits for his commentary tomorrow, you can hear John and Michael Brown on 5 Live for that one. We'll also bring you Chelsea against Zenit St. Petersburg. That's the 8 o'clock game tomorrow, the return of the Champions League and the opening night of the group stages for this season. Here is Tarkowski on the edge of his penalty. Some good games on tomorrow night. Barcelona host Bayern Munich, first game of the post-Messi reign. As Lowton goes long, looking for Jay Rodriguez, jumps, wins a header on the edge of the penalty area. Mina's brave, clattered into by Vidra, but he won the ball cleanly, and Everton get it away. And there's the real swagger about Everton now. The way Decore there just spun the ball out to Digne, the left full-back.
There's a real confidence in their play now, isn't there? They're really just toying with Burnley at the moment, just seeing down the clock. Been a really, really good second half.
So what you've seen this evening, Alan, you know what I'm going to ask you now is how good, what can Everton aspire to this season?
Well, I always thought at the start of the season that they should be aiming for those kind of Europa League positions. I think they've got the squad to do it. They've now got the strength and depth with quality. So I've not changed my opinion. Yes, they were pretty poor in the first half, but the second half they were absolutely excellent.
That's it, the full-time whistle. Everton 3, Burnley 1, Michael Keane, Andros Townsend, Tamari Gray with the goals. Burnley will go off and lick their wounds. Ben Mee had given them the lead early in the second half, but over the course of the full 90 minutes, you have to say Everton really do deserve this. That was a very impressive second half performance. Andros Townsend with the eye-catching pick of the goals, and the Rafa revolution is very intriguing indeed.
Yeah, sure is. And obviously, a few people might not like the appointment at the start of the season, but when you're playing a brand of football like this, scoring goals, winning games, that's what the crowd want. They're going away happy tonight. It was a great second half performance. As soon as they changed the formation, things changed for them. Excellent.
Well, we said at half-time it was a game that needed a goal. We got 4 goals in that second half. Really good entertainment. Everton fans will bleed their way out into the Merseyside night, singing songs and smiles on their faces. They are joint top of the early Premier League table. It finishes Everton 3, Burnley 1.